Alright, hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be doing another weaponized vehicle review test. I mean, not test, but a review, and this time it will be involved with ground vehicles, and since the last time I already did all weaponized helicopters, this time I'll be doing all weaponized ground vehicles. And next up, it's all the weaponized jet vehicles, or jets in general. But yeah, let's get started with the video, and keep in mind this is a public server, so I'm going to be doing a lot of destroying people's vehicles, and maybe even destroying people themselves too. But other than that, let's get started. The first one on the list is the Edgerunner V6, and to get this vehicle, you need to be at Amethyst Prestige, Amethyst rank 100. And how do you and what weapons does this vehicle have? Well, you can see there's a harpoon here, and what this harpoon does is that when you click on it, it shoots an explosive like round, and the cooldown isn't really that long, so you can shoot as much as you want. And the best thing about the harpoon is that despite the recoil that reflects on this card, it's actually a pretty decent weapon to use, and it's also pretty annoying to use against Night Riders because you know, nobody likes Night Rider creatures, huh? But or that could just be me. But whatever the case is, if you want to best use the harpoon, then you can like use it with alongside with a gun, and not only you're getting the harpoon shooting. I mean, not your own. Yeah, not only the harpoon is shooting, but you can also have your gun out, and basically can you like double the damage. As long as you're not doing far range, because again, this harpoon is not really the best because of far range. So I can't really find anyone, so I'm just gonna destroy this guy's vehicle to show you a quick example. And yes, these things have like big AoE, so you can like destroy multiple vehicles at once. And I can destroy that one, nor that one. Okay, but yeah, you can kind of see how OP this harpoon can be if you combine it alongside with the gun that you have. The only bug about this is that when you unequip your weapon, the crosshair doesn't seem to appear anymore, which is pretty annoying. But you know, if your mouse, just consider your mouse as a crosshair. And this guy who has been AFKing on this fence for some reason, I decided to kill him. He is a perfect example. And yeah, it does 35 damage to players, and I'm not too sure about how much it does to the vehicles. For the second strategy, let's just say someone crowds up on you. Like, let's just say someone climbs up on your vehicle, you can just go against the wall or something and start like firing bullets here. Which of course, it will deal some damage to your vehicle, but I mean, you can at least get them off alongside with the compensation of losing some car health. But yeah, honestly, if you do it at a gas station, which for some reason the bullets here don't really like register, if you just like do it like near a gas station, then you're able to get them off, and you're also repairing your vehicle at the same time. So it's technically two solutions in one. So yeah, that's all for the Edgerunner, and I might miss some things, but this is technically all I really know for now about the Edgerunners. So yeah, let's just move on. The next vehicle on the list is the Night Rider. For $4.5 million, you can have a Night Rider with a turret that is insanely fast and is technically it technically destroys anything. For example, right here, I can literally destroy this guy's car here. The best thing about this vehicle is that you're able to you don't have to get out. You can literally just chill like this and just demolish them like that. It's just stupid, okay? Like, this vehicle needs a nerf. Holy crap. But okay, is this a night? Okay. But like I said, this vehicle needs a major. Like, you can literally demolish people's vehicles in a matter of seconds. Oh, and armor patch as well, but let me just get this real quick. This A10 guy's gonna be so annoying. Oh, and he's a Titan as well. Oh, he's more annoying. But The main strategy of this Knight Rider, not only can use to PvP other people, you cannot, but it's actually really effective against the bank truck or the money truck. You see, the thing is, the bank truck requires you to do tons of damage to it. And with the Knight Rider, if you time it correctly, if you time the routes correctly, you're able to like solo the truck completely and get the bonus 5,000. I'm aware that the bonus 5,000 is actually an optional thing, but if you're really going for the full 11,000 dash, because you know the 6k damage, and you can see there's a money truck right here, so I'm just gonna shoot at it even though I'm not gonna do damage. You could tell it would actually do a lot of damage to it, especially when I'm shooting on the wheels, even though I don't think it's really gonna do anything. But yeah, this is like a quick example of what it would look like if you're shooting at the truck. And you keep doing like this, like a minute or two later, the truck will like blow up. But this is again, I'm a cop, so I'm not really gonna do any damage. So what's the point of shooting at things? But yeah, you can also chase down players and terrorize them, you know, and all that funny stuff. Other than that, this vehicle is pretty decent, and it really needs a big nerf. Blow more people's cars up for fun. And yeah, that's all for the Knight Rider. The 066 Terminator has a mounted machine gun which a player needs to use, but unfortunately the turret seems to be bugged because you can't really like maneuver up or down. Like you can kind of see that the barrel is like the turret is like rotating instead of doing what it needs to do. So I can't really do a review on the 066 Terminator if it's like this. But however, to make this the best best review as I can, I'll go to this random truck. I can literally just shoot at it, but the problem is I can't do that. Let's just pretend that's a car. Let's just pretend I can shoot that. Oh my gosh, I hate this. But yeah, the Terminator, it's practically the Knight Rider turret, except it just fires like not that fast, and also the spread, of course. You can see, you can actually like do 15 damage to the vehicle, and I think around 10 to 12 damage to the player. And yes, it's pretty much you can pretty much destroy vehicles the same way you would do with the Knight Rider and Spitfire and A10, and you know, the vehicles that have fired an insane amount of shots, like a very insane amount. Well, also, okay, this is gonna run off my car. But problem is, since it's bugged, you're not gonna do that much since it's, you know. And yeah, you can see the whole point of the turret is supposed to be like a 2-player thing. So yeah, it's technically a 2-player thing. So unless if you have no friends, which is pretty optional because you can literally just get your teammates, or you can have like a different, you know, you can just do it yourself, and you know, just remember that you're gonna be open, that there's like almost no cover here, so you're likely to be like open fired by some random sniper or whatever. And if you are getting under fired, then it's best if you just jump out of this turret instead of sacrificing your life just to take someone's bounty or something. But that's all for the L66 Terminator. Marauder. Of course, I know it's an aquatic weaponized vehicle, but you know it counts as a ground vehicle since it doesn't really fly or anything. So you know, how about let's just have this vehicle as part of the ground vehicle. Anyways, enough of that, and let's talk about what this thing does. First of all, you may notice this has a cannon. And unlike the Rhino tank, the cannon has pretty fast fire rate. So yeah, the point of the Marauder is supposed to be like water combat. And you can also use this to solo the cargo ship easily, because you know the cargo ship is pretty dangerous with the missiles. But with the Marauder, it's not gonna be a big issue because you have like 1200 health, and this thing does like 35 damage to the barrel. And for some reason, this person decided to swim into the water, so you're gonna get hit. And yes, it does 30 damage to players, and it takes around like 4 hits to destroy them. The only problem about the Marauder is that it has a limit to like, you can't really like shoot downwards, which is a problem. So basically, they gotta like force them to get onto the water. I mean, onto the land, or at least onto the surface of the water. But this thing has some nice AOE, so if they're like hiding behind a wall or something, you can destroy them. And it looks like another person here decided to be a victim of my Marauder. If he doesn't swim down. Oh hey, it's a boat. Is it a boat? Okay, yeah. Can I destroy it? Okay, there you go. This is what I mean. And it actually does 90 damage to vehicles. Let's see. Is he going to swim down? Of course. Of course. Yeah, it's pointless. And it looks like someone's shooting me. Oh, of course. But yeah, this is not really a good vehicle when it comes to like underwater combat. So I would say it's best if you actually just like, you know, do cargo ship for some actual like combat that's involved with the water. Other than that, that's all for the Marauder, and I don't have anything else to say about this, other than the fact it has like multiple seats, and it costs $1.5 million. Let's move on then. The Hyperglider for $5.5 million. This vehicle is pretty much the vehicle that is so overrated because people will use it for PvPing and grinding. Well, this vehicle's main usage is mostly grinding, but its intended usage is for PvP. But whatever it is, let's just move on with how let's just start with explaining how the Hyperglider works. First of all, you notice it actually has like lock-on missiles, and these things deal like 35 damage to the player and 70 damage to the vehicle. And it has a pretty like short cooldown, so you're able to like attack as many times as you want. It's super annoying. However, this thing is pretty much a bike, so expect yourself to get sniped by someone or get open fired by someone. But this is not the only ability it has. And the second ability is the cloaking. I mean, not the cloaking ability. It's the gliding ability, which of course you press Y. And what you want to do, you want to like ramp off or something, and then nitro, and then all of a sudden you will start gliding around. If you use full nitro, you get the full speed, but just remember that the nitro will not recharge when you're in midair. What makes the Hyperglider good is how that you're able to glide in midair, because once you're in midair, you're almost unstoppable. The only vehicles that would stop you are probably lock-on either anti-air, such as Blackout, or Raider Z. I don't think Raider Z will stop you, but I know a Blackout would, because it's anti-air, and it has like a pretty fast lock-on time. Or some Raptor, I don't know, something like that. Anything, and maybe snipers as well, but that's unless if you're really good with timing. Other than that, this Hyperglider is mainly used for grinding. And yes, there is a blind spot with these lock-on missiles, so if the opponent gets too close to you, then your missiles are technically pointless, because they're just gonna fire off into nowhere. But yeah, this is all for the Hyperglider, and overall it's a pretty good vehicle to use and have. And since the recent nerf, since it has like 200 HP now, get ready to get destroyed easily because it's a bike. Moving on to the tanks with the Rhino tank. This is for $4 million, located at the military base alongside the Incinerator and Obliterator. And this Rhino tank is, it does what it does. It has a cannon that shoots out rounds that almost one-shots the player. If you see this thing, you better start running, because unless if you're brave enough to jump on the tank, which I doubt you are, then this thing is gonna do so much damage. And as long as you can aim, then For some reason, this doesn't work. Yeah, I don't really like this. But the Rhino tank has a pretty slow speed and slow fire rate, or cooldown, or whatever. And honestly, I feel like the Rhino tank does need a little bit of a buff since it gets outclassed by the Obliterator now, even though the Obliterator is like 1 million more. And oh yeah, this thing can one-shot helicopters. That's stupid, but it's the Rhino. And the main point of using the Rhino is to scare the absolute heck out of players. Well, not really, but the main point of this is how it does like 80 damage, which is pretty good against crowd control. And it's actually like this is like the only what you want to call it, weaponized vehicle that deals the most amount of damage to the player. With second place being the Warhawk, which does 60. This thing does 80. But again, it's pretty slow, and overall, it's kind of like a turtle. It barely does anything. And it's also pretty no-skill as well, technically relying on training. And for some reason, this guy's running. Okay, you see that hit registers? For some reason, there's a new bug now where the shots won't even register. And yes, you can also hit yourself. For some reason, I hit that guy directly, and for some reason, it didn't register. Like, what the heck? Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with this game, but there's way too many bugs. Just like how the turret bug occurred. Now there's a hit registering bug. I actually was planning on making a video criticizing this game. But I kind of delayed it tonight until this week. On a Saturday maybe. If the update isn't that pleasing. Which I hope it is. But even if it's not, I still can't really delay the content that much. But enough of the ramblings, and let's just... The Incinerator. For $6 million you can get an anti-air tank. This is also, you can also use it against players, but however, it has a pretty big blind spot, so I wouldn't really recommend doing that. The point of the Incinerator for $6 million, it's anti-air, so this is technically really devastating against air vehicles. And for some reason, this whole server list, no one has a helicopter here, or at least if I can find an active helicopter. There is a few problems with the Incinerator though. First of all, the Incinerator will lock on into anything. Like, I mean, let's just say you can lock on to an empty helicopter, and like you can just like point an empty helicopter and it will still lock on. It's just that ridiculous. Another thing that makes it stupid is that not only locks onto empty vehicles, but it also locks onto your own teammate vehicles, which even makes it even more stupid. Because every time when I lock on a vehicle, I only shoot a missile to see if it actually is my teammates or the enemies. So let me just show you an example real quick. As you can see, I'm already locking on to a Cobra that's just there for sale, and I can literally just fire an unlimited amount of missiles at it, which is really stupid. And for some reason, I don't know why this has been here for a long time since the release. Just kind of BS, because how am I supposed to know if the helicopter or whatever air vehicle is sitting there? How am I supposed to know if it's the enemies or my teammate? Because I could be shooting the wrong one and flaying that vehicle, and my teammates will get mad on me, which is a problem. Because it's explosive, so expect things to blow up. Also, since this guy's AFK in here, I decided I'm just going to destroy him. But this thing does like 20 damage to players. And oh, you're trying to shoot me, huh? Fight me. And yeah, and of course he's dead. Yeah, this thing is really powerful when it comes to like players, but you need to have like maintain distance. So otherwise, you're technically like you're really useless. And is this? Oh hey, there's a vehicle there, which I can't. You see, that's a teammate vehicle over there that I can't damage. And what the problem is, I can still lock on, even if it's a teammate. Like, it's so stupid. Like, if you ever want to body Incinerator, just remember how BS this thing is. And man, this guy's shooting me. Okay, let me see. Here's a jet. Here's a plane here, which I can lock on, and it's from a hero. Oh, you can also see the blind spot here, which is pretty big because, you know, like I said, it goes out of bounds. It goes into nowhere. But like I said, look at this BS. Like, how was this even? How did the devs even accepted this? Like, they literally just said, you know what? This thing locking onto other vehicles, not my problem. That's literally what I'm pretty sure that's what the devs are literally thinking when they released the Incinerator. Like, oh, this thing locks on vehicles? Oh, not my problem. It's just, I don't know how to say, man. It's just stupid. And yeah, I mean, this is worse than the Obliterator. Like, Obliterator, this will lock onto random vehicles, but this locks onto anything, bro. Okay, this is an enemy helicopter, and you can see, it actually does 70 damage to air vehicles, and gosh, what kind of accuracy is this? But yeah, if you fire correctly, then it will do you fatal damage. You know what? I don't like this vehicle anymore. Up next is the final vehicle known as the Obliterator for $5.3 million. This is the latest edition, which is basically a mix of an Incinerator and a Rhino tank. And watch its action as it has two weapons. First of all, it has the cannon, which I can literally shoot and deal 20 damage to this guy over and over. And there's also missiles, anti-air missiles, but I can also shoot this guy. What the heck was that? There we go. And I can literally just, like, you know, shoot him, damn. Like, I can do as much, like, it's unlike the two other vehicles which have, like, the biggest disadvantage, this thing has, like, the best advantage. Like, it can lock onto air vehicles. You see that crosshair that is on my mouse? Yeah, that's the crosshair that is used to, like, lock onto air vehicles. However, there is a little problem with locking on, and sometimes when you try locking on an enemy vehicle, it wouldn't really register. But sometimes it would, which is a stupid thing, because this is like, it either wants to lock onto the vehicle, or just doesn't want to lock on at all. Which makes me wonder what the hell are the devs doing in the behind the scenes, but who knows. They're probably just releasing things thinking it's actually fine. Like the Incinerator, when it doesn't even lock on. When it like lock onto anything. Eh. What the heck? Look. I don't lock onto the vehicle, and it still finds it. Kinda, the heck is this? Nah. You saw that, right? I didn't even lock on, and this thing already knows what that helicopter is an enemy. Like, what the heck is that? And this guy wants to mess with me? Yeah, you're dead. Oh, and also, this is actually one of the most no-skill vehicles in the game. I mean, every weaponized vehicle is no-skill, but this is pretty no-skill as well. And you can also like show your little friends and, you know, just fling them around, since you can consistently shoot them. And yes, the bombs even make it better. But yeah, this vehicle here makes no sense. I managed to target that guy in midair without even putting my trigger on it. I mean, without putting my crosshair on it. Like, how? I don't even understand this game. Like, I don't even understand this game sometimes, man. You know what? This video got way more chaotic than I thought. But other than that, yeah, that's all for the video. So, for conclusion, for the best ground vehicle, I would have to say it has to be either the Obliterator or the Rhino. Because the Obliterator is technically a combination of the Rhino tank and Incinerator, but just more faster and deadlier. And a Knight Rider is technically the Destroyer, really. It's technically like a Demolisher. it demolishes anything in its path, as long as you don't interrupt it by shooting explosives at it. But in that, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this little review, and these are just my opinions, and some of this, and these stats may subject to change later on if you're watching at a later date. But that's all for the video, and hope you guys enjoy this video, and be sure to leave a like, comment, and consider subscribing. And after that, I'll see you in the next video, and see you guys next time. Goodbye.